Hello, everybody. It is Monday. How we doing tonight? How is everybody doing? Hey, Jennifer. Good to have you in first tonight. Hope all is well in Florida. Naples. Nebraska, Angie, Kitty, Lisa, all joining in tonight. Hello. Yes, I am on time. Yes, Cassandra likes it when I am more 8 than ish. Hey, Angie, good to have you with us. Good to have you. Cheers, my friend. Whew. I had to drink that a little slower. That's the smoky one that Crystal sent me. That one's got a little smoky flavor. Hey, Cindy and Julie Jankowitz is with us tonight. Good to have you all there on this Monday. Lots happening in the world today. How is everybody's Monday? Ross is with us. Ross, are you hopping on the treadmill? You getting on the treadmill tonight? Dina. Great to have you with us. Suzanne. Love the crowd that's showing up tonight. Glad that you are all with me. Sometimes I wonder whether you guys still enjoying this or not, and whether I should, Suzanne and MJ finishing up dinner. And what is for dinner, Russ? We just finished up dinner. We got dinner in early, too. We were busy today, too, Julie. We had a good Monday. Hey, Pat and the Peanut Gallery are with us. Suki's with us. Marcia from Ricochet is with us. Cheers, Marcia. Great to have you. Barb is with us. So many parts of the country. When I can start traveling again, I really can't wait to be able to get out on the road again. One, I need some more staff to be able to do it, but you're eating ice cream now. We've got a selection of ice cream for later. What do we have? 7 flavors right now?
8.
We have 8 flavors. Rebecca went to Trader Joe's today, so we have 8 flavors of ice cream in the house tonight. And these are, and I'm not talking your plain Jane chocolate and vanilla here. So, but yeah, I gotta work on that, and once we get the staffing going, then I can get on the road to come visit you guys. I just need to get out there and see everybody. I miss seeing everybody in person. And I like at least 2 flavors of ice cream in mine, Julie. I'm just kind of funny that way. So what flavor ice cream are you having tonight, Julie? Share with the group. We did get dinner in before the show, so Cassandra likes it if we can get dinner in first and then just have dessert afterwards. We could do an ice cream sundae bar. Come on out into the country. You come on a road trip. Come on out east. Hey, Suzanne, great to have you with us. What is everybody grateful for this Monday? What are we grateful for this Monday evening tonight? Monday Fun Day. Blue Bunny chocolate. I don't even know. We have, what's the fancy name that we got? We have some Oregon ice cream or something. Tillamook. Tillamook ice cream in several different flavors. Yes, Suzanne, the calculators are pink, and especially since I've been having a calculator talk with the government today, I think they should all be pink. But I'll cover that later in the show. Hey, Joanne in Chicago. Pink is always better. It was the funniest thing, Suzanne, since I've become the pink calculator person. Um, when my mother passed away, I'm with the funeral director, and he was so frustrated because he sent his guy out to get some calculators, and he came back with all these pink calculators. It's like, who would want a pink calculator? And my sister and I are there meeting with him. We just burst out laughing. That's great, Kitty. Nice buyouts coming in. We've been getting a good amount of incoming in, but even better, we've had a good amount of stuff going out. What's everybody else? Hang on. Isn't it great when one of your oldest and best consigners drops off, Julie? We had an old couple who consign their stuff. Well, actually, their kids' stuff. So their grandchildren's stuff with us and some of their own. And they winter down in Georgia, and they've been stuck down there, and they just got back. So they just got in, and we're in consigning today. So I was so grateful to be there when they were there. Hey, Leanne and Alexa. Cheers, Leanne. I didn't see the wine glass out. Hey, Kelly from New Mexico. I feel like we talked almost today. Good to have everybody with us today. When did the pink calculator start? We'll have to go back into the archives on that. Do you remember when the pink, when did we start the pink calculator? Cassandra's initial thought is the day that Staples only had pink and that I bought it, but we bought it for the store, so everything is cutie pink. So we have everything as cutie pink originally, and then everybody started coming to me for their numbers, and the pink calculator got its own thing. Yeah, go Narts. That's great that the Acostas were on the radio this morning. I'll have to look up to see if I can get a replay of that. I've talked to them a bunch during this. That is terrific. You know, I love these areas that are featuring small business, that are highlighting it. These media companies that are doing it. It is important to get the word out about small businesses and what they're doing and what they do for the community. And this industry more than any other, is community. It's all about community. You're shopping in your neighbor's house. You're shopping in that big mansion down the street. You're shopping in your neighbor's closet. You're providing a income for your friends. It is huge. Pat, just watch that ADT contract and see how far, how long you are into it for. ADT is the king of the contracts. I will have to look for that, Julie. That's great that they were on the radio. And they're frequent listeners to this program. Yes. Angie, the magnificent designer. That's awesome, Dina. Well, that's great. That's a lot everybody is grateful for this Monday. Did I miss Adele signing in and Adele and Dazzle getting on tonight? Did I miss them? I didn't see them chime in tonight. Am I too early for them? Or is Adele still in line getting her nails done? Today was nail day in Michigan, right? Where she was able to get her nails done. But let's get this party started. I got a lot to cover this Monday. Hey, the Johnsons are with us. Great to have you with us, Dana and Jeff. Perfect, Pat. I mean, they're just awful, and they sue to enforce their contracts and everything else, so I'm glad that it's expired. I need Yvonne to come and pick up mine. The people that pick up mine say they won't be able to get home decor anymore for a while, And they're not going to start back up supposedly till July 6th. My warehouse is bursting with donate right now. I mean, I'm just overflowing with it. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, that's a good point, Kelly. Some cities do require that. But that's where we're all here together. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're going, Kitty, to page 124 today in our Good Morning, Good Night book. I'm not the only one with one of these anymore. Kitty got one on consignment. Good morning. You got a good head on your shoulders. As for your shoulders, effing magnificent. Go get them today. Hey, there's the radio stars. The Acostas have chimed in. Hey, radio stars 101 The Mix. Today, I hear, big time stars there in Chicago. Crystal, how are you? So, Crystal, I notice I drink your scotch a little slower than my Costco scotch. I'm just saying. It's the smokiness. If I take too big a sip, it's not good. But it's great scotch. I'm really enjoying it. Good to have you all with us. What do we got going on here today, people? Lots of stuff. Lots today. I'm going to come back to that. I like this. So when customers took their shopping lists online during the quarantine, they brought their questions and concerns with them. But retail's customer service channels simply can't keep up, according to the Wall Street Journal. Lululemon says customer service calls are currently 2 to 3 times greater than usual. Best Buy admitted it's behind on responding to a deluge of customer service requests. And Macy's issued an apology for longer than usual wait times on its customer service hub. The backup was unavoidable. Online sales rose 77.8% in May, per Adobe Analytics. That spike outstripped the resources retailers had allocated to digital customer service, leading to a help center bottleneck and lots of angry tweets. Redistribute store staff to customer service staff. Lululemon, for example, added 500 store employees to its call center. That's on top of 300 workers that moved to the helpline team earlier in the pandemic. Wayfair is also adding 500 customer service employees to its payrolls. And IKEA is bringing furloughed workers back to customer service roles. All right. eBay employees, well, let me say this. Now, former eBay employees sent bugs, bloody masks to a couple in aggressive cyber-stalking campaign, the feds say. 6 former, how do you do this? 6 former eBay employees are accused of participating in an aggressive cyber-stalking campaign against a couple just outside of Boston. Said the victims are the editor and publisher of an online newsletter that covers e-commerce companies, including eBay. That after the newspaper published content critical of eBay, the victims were sent several disturbing items, including a bloody pig mask and a funeral wreath. These deliveries included fly larvae and live spiders, a box of live cockroaches, a sympathy wreath on the occasion of the death of a loved one, a book of advice on how to survive the death of a spouse. To be clear, based on the complaint unsealed today, eBay executives were not just unhappy about the victim's coverage, they were enraged. One of those executives texted that he wanted to crush this lady, he said. eBay's former senior director of safety and security was charged with conspiracy to commit cyberstalking and conspiracy to tamper with witnesses. Yeah, I have some stuff on IKEA too, Kelly, I'm going to cover. eBay's former director of global resiliency was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit cyberstalking and conspiracy to tamper with witness. And three other eBay employees, several of the defendants allegedly drove to the victim's home several times with intending at one point to break into the victim's garage and install a GPS tracking device on their car. The defendants also tried to lie to police about eBay's involvement and pretended to offer the company's assistance with the alleged harassment. Wow. Wow. And these weren't just nobodies working for eBay. These were big people. That's just crazy. Since Kelly asked, I will cover IKEA next. This is interesting, Kelly. Kelly, you will like this. Well, maybe not. IKEA is in talks about returning aid granted by 9 countries to subsidize the furloughs triggered by the coronavirus pandemic because its business is recovering faster than expected, the Financial Times reported. The global furniture retailer is negotiating with Belgium, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Ireland, Portugal, Romania, Serbia, Spain, and the United States. At the start of the crisis, IKEA had expected sales to drop off between 70 and 80% as it faced store closures. Now all but 23 of its stores have reopened and sales are being buoyed by pent-up demand. The company wasn't sure how much money was involved or how many workers were affected across all countries. But yeah, that's like 9 let me give the money back. Well, I guess that's good. And I'm glad that people are spending money. So, I mean, ultimately, let's look at the good in that versus that they got lots of government aid. Who doesn't sell groceries but delivers via Instacart? Any guesses, anybody? Any guesses? Who doesn't sell groceries but delivers via Instacart? Do 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 do. Any guesses from my peanut gallery? Well, technically they might have snack items. Huh? No. Someplace we no longer shop. That's correct. Staples now delivers via Instacart. You can get same-day delivery with an on-demand delivery from Staples from more than 1,000 of its U.S. retail locations in collaboration with Instacart, including home office essentials, back-to-school necessities, and cleaning supplies, and personal protective equipment. See, that was vague, Julie, on IKEA, on what government programs. There's some vague government programs that they get that companies have been able to take advantage of, mostly dealing direct with the Fed or with Treasury. So there's been some vague stuff that hasn't gotten a lot of press, but it will. It'll all come out. But they haven't just written a check. They're in negotiations. They didn't. There's been some other programs that were created for them, so it's a sketchy thing. But it's ultimately about keeping the economy moving, and these programs are rarely perfect when done so quickly. So let's not critique the programs. There'll be plenty of time to Monday morning quarterback that. Jennifer Johns is joining us. Walmart is testing a self-checkout only location. That will preserve jobs, I'm sure. Walmart in Fayetteville, Arkansas is reimagining the shopping experience by using self-checkout counters only in lieu of traditional cash-out lanes. They're removing conveyor belt lanes and replacing them with self-checkout counters. The goal is to see if the increased use of self-checkout will speed up purchases while providing a safer experience for shoppers through less interaction. I'm not so sure about that, but it will save money on cashiers, that's for sure. 92% of Phillips Edison's tenants are back in business. With COVID-19 cases steadily declining and states allowing non-essential retailers to open, retail centers are starting to finally get back to normal. Phillips Edison & Company, which owns close to 300 grocery store anchored centers, saw 5,500 tenants close at the beginning of the shutdown. Now, 1,630 of those have reopened, and 92% of tenant spaces are open for business. And reopening is the first step for our neighbors. Now they must regain customer confidence and weather the potential economic fallout resulting from the pandemic. Once open and able to pay their standard monthly rent, we'll begin discussions about recovering missed rent payments. The landlord company provided tenants with videos and webinars to help them during the crisis, and it has added parking areas for pickup and outdoor dining space for restaurants. So, again, oh, Russ. I have to admit, I have yet to see Tiger King. I've heard of it, but I have yet to see it. J. Crew, more than half of their stores have reopened, and gives an update on real estate. J. Crew is reopening its stores and bringing back furloughed employees. It also remains in discussions with landlord. They filed for bankruptcy in early May, and later in the month received approval for bankruptcy court to pause rent payments for 2 months. On Friday, J. Crew said it has been in discussion with landlords regarding improving store lease terms as part of its restructuring process, and that as a part of its reorganization, it's filed notice with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court to reject 67 store leases. The company will remove a store lease from the rejection list in the future if it reaches an acceptable resolution with the affected landlord. As of June 12th, J. Crew had reopened 315 locations, or 64% of its total store fleet, and called back the majority of its furloughed employees. Also, the company has added approximately 400 positions at its distribution center in Lynchburg, Virginia, which supports its e-commerce business. The addition stemmed from continued online sales momentum that was increasing even before stores were closed during the pandemic. Yeah, it does, Jenny. There is more theft with self-checkout, but it's a math game, okay? You got to keep in mind that most people are inherently honest, and the theft that does happen there is cost less than the labor, the benefits, the disability, the workers' comp, the no-shows, the call-outs, everything else. It's all a math game. It's all a math game. And the ever-increasing $15 plus minimum wage. So it's all part of it, and they've got lots of people working that math. You know, you same as you go into the math is really easy. You know, when you go into put Walmart aside for a second, but stores that are trying to do self-checkout, Five Below, for example. So $5 items. And you know, the math on that to replace a $15 hour employee and what they do with that, it's all a math game. And that most people are inherently honest, and they get on most things, and their cost, it's just a game of running the numbers on a pink calculator. So I'm saying. Our buddies at Starbucks, the Green Apron, to let workers wear Black Lives Matter apparel after a backlash. I'm really surprised about this. Starbucks has reversed its prohibition on employees wearing apparel and accessories that highlight the Black Lives Matter movement after its stance caused a backlash on social media. The coffee giant has supported the movement in its social media platforms and press release, but on Wednesday, they reported that an internal memo in which Starbucks said its employees cannot wear Black Lives Matter clothing or accessories. Manager explained the decision by saying that the items could be misunderstood and incite violence. The news caused an uproar with calls for boycott of the chain. They reversed their stance, saying it is partnering with the Starbucks Black Partner Network and allies to make 250,000 shirts with a design that includes Black Lives Matters and No Justice, No Peace graphics, available to employees who work in its company-owned cafes in the U.S. and Canada. Until the company shirts are available, employees can wear their own shirts or pins. And Starbucks said that it had already been planning for the new shirts prior to the social media uproar. I'm sure. Party City is in a deal that could slash debt as its loss widens to over $500 million. Party City is working to ease its debt as it continues to deal with the fallout from COVID-19. The party goods retailer announced a possible deal that would reduce the company's debt by 25%, or about $450 million, and raise $100 million in new cash. To support ongoing transformation initiatives, we recently announced an agreement with certain of our bondholders to support a set of transactions that, if consummated, is expected to reduce the company's debt by over 25%, and raise approximately $100 million in new capital. The deal would be with 54% of holders of Party City's senior notes due in 2023. We've covered their losses. Walmart in the news twice tonight. Hey, Joe, great to have you with us. Walmart is teaming with Shopify. Some of you have heard of Shopify, to grow its marketplace. Walmart and Shopify on Monday announced they are partnering to bring 1,200 sellers onto Walmart.com's third-party marketplace by the end of the year. The focus of the program is U.S.-based small and medium businesses whose assortments complement ours. Activating the Walmart e-commerce channel through Shopify allows sellers to sync their assortments with Walmart.com to easily track orders, inventory, and fulfillment within Shopify and manage product information on Walmart.com. Shopify sellers won't pay fees to list their products on Walmart.com, but will pay referral fees when they make a sale. That's actually kind of interesting. I'm surprised they're only going to do it with picking 1,200. It's good for everybody involved. As Walmart tries to grow its marketplace and compete with Amazon, is the ultimate thing. A 4-day work week might be exactly what the U.S. and its economy needs right now. The pandemic has created a moment for businesses to take stock and consider more radical reconstruction of the workplace. Workers who clock in just 4 days a week report being happier and more productive, and small business says it gives them the edge in attracting and motivating workers. Now, the prospect of having long weekends every week is gaining traction across corporate America. And it was suggested by former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang, which is already a thing in New Zealand. It is something that we've looked at here. Actually, we're too short-staffed right now for it, but it is certainly something that I would welcome, because I agree it brings happiness, and it's another competitive advantage. If you can structure your team to get to a 4-day work week, and even rotate it somewhat like hospitals do, and rotate which days those are and just roll them forward. It is an interesting concept that it can increase satisfaction. It's something that a small business can do and pivot to be able to do if you have the right amount of staff to do it and their flexibility in their schedule. Potentially, Russ. I see where you're coming. They can also give the extra day off can help bigger companies accommodate new social distancing guidelines in workplaces, along with childcare schedules that are likely to be chaotic for months to come. Yes, so would I. The weekend. That would be a nice thing. I'd like to know what a weekend is in the short run. CVS is joining Walmart in keeping multicultural beauty products out of locked cabinets. Drugstore chain CVS Health joined Walmart in announcing it will stop keeping beauty and personal care products designed for people of color in locked display cases after the practice drew criticism online. I wonder what made them change their mind. Lands' End downgraded on refinancing uncertainty. Lands' End has been credit rating to CCC, down from B- on possible difficulties refinancing its nearly $400 million term loan due next April. Their rating could drop even further depending on their efforts to refinance its debt. They need favorable economic terms to refinance its debt, and sufficient market volatility remains to complicate efforts. That's something we're going to see with a lot of other companies. All right, and that brings us, hey, Ellen's joining us, and Mike, how are you guys doing? Did you open today, Ellen? Right? Today was the day you could open, right? Did you open today, or are you waiting a couple of days? I hope you are doing well. I know you've got a lot on your project list, and it's been a while since we've talked. Okay, so let's cover some PPP stuff here, because it wouldn't be a night without some PPP. So we know that the terms of the loan allowed for the loan portion to go to 5 years. I'll catch up with you tomorrow or the next day, Ellen. I'll give you a call. I am hoping you get open soon. While I still don't want anybody to end out with the PPP as a loan, an important clarification. Oh, I thought it was today that you were able to. Sorry, I've had my dates wrong. So anybody that got the loan prior to 6/5, it's at the option of the lender, okay, to extend it to a 5-year loan. They do not have to, and so the lender doesn't have to. The SBA and Treasury are encouraging them to, but they do not have to. But again, I don't want anybody to end out with a PPP loan. The two caveats that I got from the SBA, my SBA conversations today, the two important caveats are that no one is expecting a redefinition of the 8-week term on owner/shareholder income. So the income is for shareholders or owners is limited to 850 seconds, okay, or 8 weeks of 2019 income, okay, and that is explicitly laid out. And even though that you now have 24 weeks to use the funds, that part isn't expanded and is not going to be extended from everything that I got from the SBA today, my contacts at the SBA. The part that is, okay, and that is a stretch for you that you can do, is you can do for the 40%, or what I call 35% of expenses that you can spend on other things such as rent, mortgage interest, etc. Utilities, if you need, you can use up to 24 weeks of those expenses. I like it when your bank tunes into me, Kelly. That's really smart of them. I'm glad that they tune in so that we can help everybody get to the other side, including your bank. But that is one of the things that is not going to do is get us as owners more income. This is about getting jobs back and helping businesses with other expenses. So that side of it. So then there's the whole push on forgiveness and what to do about that and how to simplify that. And so I've been involved in that conversation a bunch this afternoon. there's a lot of talk, and you've probably heard it in the media, about a calculator, okay? And that there should be this calculator that makes it simple, okay? They're not talking a pink calculator, unfortunately, okay? But they are talking a calculator. And so I got brought into that discussion today, okay? Because it's really kind of kooky. So one of the things that's out there that isn't getting a lot of play is that Mnuchin said, well, I can do this for the PPP forgiveness form in 15 minutes. No problem. Well, that's great. Okay, he's kind of the Secretary of the Treasury. I'd hope he'd be able to do it quickly. Okay? But he's not the one doing this. And that's part of the discussion. And so there's actually a bill that wanted to be Representative Ann Wagner and a bunch of other people are trying to pass the PPP, trying to get a bill pushed forward called the Calculate PPP Forgiveness Act of 2020. And the idea behind the bill yeah, the idle advance is messed up, but I digress. I'm going to skip over that. That is correct, Julie. You will have to subtract. You can still pay yourself. I still want you to get paid because you're a hardworking owner, but you do not get. But that portion of payroll does not count towards your PPP allowable funds. Okay, and so there's this big push in the media and by certain representatives, including Ann Wagner, and this is what I was involved in today, okay, to create the Calculate PPP Forgiveness Act of 2020, which would require the Small Business Administration to maintain a calculator that is easily accessible on a publicly available internet website and provides lenders and recipients the ability to reasonably and accurately estimate the amount of loan forgiveness related to a PPP loan. Okay? Well, that sounds special, and it goes with the media thing that we need a calculator to be able to do this. Okay? And that's all fine and dandy, but that's not the problem. Okay? The problem is the whole forgiveness. So, in my back and forth with them on this today, I said it isn't a calculator that'll help all businesses. I said that will help. All businesses are hoping for 100% forgiveness. It's the form and the paperwork required to substantiate the forgiveness that no one can figure out. Most businesses are not able to do the paperwork on their own, and they're getting charged by their CPA, bookkeeper, or payroll service to put together, and even they don't entirely understand it. It honestly would be much better for the businesses that Congress is trying to help to have a self-certification that is not dependent on the bank that issued it to certify it, because under the current process, you have to submit to the bank, they have to check everything, and then they have to submit it to the SBA, and it can still be kicked back and recalculated. Rather, a simpler process would be for loans under a certain threshold to allow for self-certification, that the proceeds were used for payroll at X%. Owner compensation dollars were X during this period, and other allowable expenses were this. And require businesses to keep records of such expenses for possible audit for a period of 6 years. It would lessen the burden on all involved and still provide checks and balances, keeping in mind that most banks did already verify actual payroll as part of the origination process, so they know that part's legitimate. And of course, you'd have to sign this under pains and penalties of perjury. So I've been advocating for changes to the bill to allow that, to actually get a bill done under a certain threshold, we could get this simplified for forgiveness. Okay, you'd still be on the hook for it. I'd still want you to actually have all your ducks in a row for forgiveness, but not have to actually submit this to some bureaucratic agency to get some bureaucrat to okay it. And like, no one has the time for that. We're all trying to run a business. We're all trying to get the economy restarted. So, something under a certain threshold, under 200,000, under 250,000, under 150,000, pick a number, that would handle most of the loans and would certainly reduce the burden on businesses while still holding them liable for truthful representations. And it really would be great. And I actually got a lot of positive feedback going back and forth, like, duh. I mean, like, we don't need a calculator. I mean, most businesses, that's not what you're looking for. I mean, most businesses don't understand the forms they get from their payroll companies on a bi-weekly basis or weekly basis anyways. And that's not that anybody. You didn't get in business to understand all that stuff. That's okay. I get it. And that is not what you got into this for. Okay? You got into this to support your community. And in our business, okay, in the resale business, okay, we are the local economy. Okay? If we thrive, the whole community thrives. And so it is important to get all of us going. So that is what I'm going back and forth on a lot this afternoon, advocating for with these representatives and with my intermediaries in Congress, for lack of a better term. I got a lot of people that tune in, what do you think of this? And I'm like, well, the calculator, okay, it sounds good. It's a news bite. It's what the media is doing. But it's not practical, okay, and it doesn't help anybody, okay, it really doesn't. So we'll see where this goes. It's going to be an interesting week because there's a lot of pressure to make something happen quickly and to simplify the forms because there are some that are anxious to apply for forgiveness. You don't want to, in my general, based on what I know today, you don't want to be first in line for forgiveness, okay? You want to have all your ducks in a row, okay, Kitty, but you don't want to be first in line. You actually are more likely to benefit by not being first in line. And I know you were one of the ones, a payment book for you for your PPP. And I'm glad they did that. I really am. I wish more people got that. Okay, I certainly know what mine would be if it were a loan, but I don't want anybody to have a loan. This is a bad loan. It's a bad loan, but it's a great thing. It's a great gift if you're able to use the proceeds properly on payroll. Okay, and that's what it's for. If you do that, it's a great program and it's a great blessing on business during this time. We just need to lessen the paperwork requirements and make that simpler. So we will see what we can do to continue to make that happen, and I will keep you posted on that. If you are a business that has not gotten a PPP and you have payroll or you have self-employment income in 2019 and you didn't get the EIDL advance, you should seriously be looking at it. We have 2 weeks left to be able to get it. It will go away after that. There is talk of another very targeted round, but we're getting into election season, and so all bets are off on that. But this is real. So, and if you're unsure whether you should or shouldn't, email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com, and make sure you include your phone number so I can give you a call back. Because this is important stuff. You got 2 weeks to get it done. There's a little over, somewhere around $130 billion left for them to spend. They're not expecting to spend it all, but I want to make sure you get your share, whether that's $5,000 or $50,000 or $500,000. Okay, I don't want you to be afraid of the changes to the program or anything else that's going on. I want you to get this so that you get beyond this, okay? So that we get to the other side so that you survive and are stronger. And that's what this is all about. So if you need help with that, reach out to me. I am happy to help you. Because all these videos, everything that I talk about, all the information that I talk about is available here every night live in the Nartz Facebook group. It is also then available to everybody in business. I don't care who they are, your dog walker, your maid, your gardener, your physical therapist, whoever they are, anyone you know. Don't worry about it. Share the page, nartz.org/resalestrong, nartz.org/resalestrong, and the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, because that's how we're going to help all our friends and neighbors and fellow businesses get to the other side of this. It is so important that everybody still be standing on the other side. I want all the best of us and all of us getting to the other side of this. That is how we do it, okay? We start every day and night of this program with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Every night we start with that. Oh, hang on. I haven't given us any... Oh, hang on. What's my advocacy affirmation of the week? The two things in life you are total control over is your attitude and your effort. What is your attitude? What is it? I hope it's a great one. But we start every day and night. Every night. Every night we start with the Good Morning, Good Night book. 2 copies of them are out there. I think I have one and Kitty has one. I haven't yet to see anybody else with one of these books. It's rare. It's a rare book, but it's a great book. And this is how we start every night. Today we're on page 124 and 125. Our good morning, in case you were not here at the beginning, is good morning. You got a good head on your shoulders. As for your shoulders, effing magnificent. Go get them today. Our good night tonight is good night. Rest your weary head. And those incredible shoulders. You did good today. That is our show tonight, people. I'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock-ish. One more 8 than ish Eastern. To help you through and bring you the latest information that I have. To get us all through to the other side. Because more than anything is that you and you, but most especially you, yes, I'm pointing at you, are not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for me to get some ice cream. Have a great night.